Oh, okay. I know nobody's gonna see this until tomorrow. Everyone's busy watching the riots in Dallas and in New York, and I can't remember where else, but basically not watching regular crap like this. And you know what? That's fine. That's fair. But I wanted to at least get the content out there. Like I said, as we speak, the last video for propaganda, chapters 8 through 11, is going to be processing. It's about 52 minutes. um, you know, overall, I think I'll give y'all my review of the book. Basically, very short, looking at 116 pages. It's not too bad. I would say that for the most part, it's anachronistic because obviously he's talking about stuff from the 1920s and earlier. But I think if you want to research names, if you want to research the people that he was connected to, that Mr. Bernays was connected to, I think it's great. I think there are nuggets of gold in there. For example, him saying that, yeah, there is an invisible government that runs this country. Now, of course, he also says that it is a very fluid type of situation. So I think that's good. Honestly, I do. So I would tell y'all, if you can find it on, find a PDF of it. I know you can. Read some of that. Get an idea of it. For me, I also got public relations and crystallizing public opinion. I probably won't read those because I'm a little burnt out from that. I will be reading some other things that are downloaded as PDFs, so I'll probably review them like this on StreamYard, and that way we can kind of get a better idea. But yeah, that's pretty much my whole review of it. That was pretty damn quick, wasn't it? So, without further ado, I will take a hint from a subscriber who said he wanted me to do a LeftValues quiz. And so I said to myself, sure, why not? So we're going to go ahead and do that. All right, let's get to it. Keep it simple. Okay. We're going to put them in English. Good. And let's get through this. Actually, I'm going to go back to watching watching the riots and seeing how bad it's going to get. Reforming capitalist society to achieve better rights for workers is desirable. Disagree. There is no point in trying to. Revolution is the best way of achieving a socialist society. Yeah. To me, it is. The negative consequences of a revolution generally outweigh the advantages. I'm going to go neutral. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to go straight up tanky. I'm just going to say I disagree. Liberal democracy is a viable way of achieving a socialist society. Absolutely not. Look at examples like Kautsky or, the social democracy of, countries like Sweden or Norway or whichever, the countries that Bernie Sanders talked about and that we were obsessed by. It's all just sock damn nonsense. It's fake law. Socialist revolutions made inevitable by the conditions of capitalism. I would have to say yes. Workplace democracy within capitalism is acceptance to a complete socialization of the economy. Workplace democracy within capitalism is an acceptable alternative. I'm going to go neutral. I think it's a good start. Maybe I've listened to Vosh too much. Revolutionary violence is acceptable as long as the final outcome is positive. Yeah. Redistributing wealth away from the wealthy through taxes is a viable way of defeating inequality. Neutral. It's a good start, but there needs to be more. Modern social democracy is a betrayal of left-wing values. Yes, strongly agree. Read Lenin. oppressed peoples have the right to engage in a violent uprising when all of, well, obviously I'd have to say agree, because obviously they're doing it in Minneapolis and Dallas and Ohio, Kentucky, New York City. So yeah. Means of production such as factories, farms must be publicly owned. Yeah, I'm going to just say agree on that. Material conditions and needs are the dominant drive behind socioeconomic changes. Yep, agree. So strongly agree. Socialism can only be fully achieved in developed industrialized societies. Absolutely not. Each according to his ability, to each according to his needs is a good principle. Yes. It is possible to peacefully convince the ruling class to conform. No. Capitalism will induce its own demise through a contradiction that results in crisis. That results in crisis. Yes. Look at now. Look at right now. As of May 29th, 2020, after the death of George, I can't think of his name now. Anyway, the brother that got his that had his asphyxiation. Yeah, that guy, definitely, that was it's a good example. Yeah, capitalism will induce its own demise. Yes, it will. Class conflict is a force that has influenced much of human history. Yes. The establishment of socialism is a gradual process rather than instant or rapid one. Absolutely. Society is chiefly driven by individuals and ideas. I'm going to say neutral. It's a little bit of both. Not just ideas and individuals, but it's also based on bureaucracies that allow those individuals and ideas to grow. Total economic and social equality is realistically possible to achieve. I'm going to say no. I'm going to disagree on that, because that's equality. Even Lenin and Marx were very much against the idea of equality. And he gives examples such as a woman who has, like 5 kids, isn't that compared to someone who's just, a bachelor? Two different things. An economy is generally designed better when it is organized bottom up rather than top down. Well, I always thought it was a horizontal thing. So I'm going to say, I guess I'll say agree. Not strongly agree, but agree. Local planners rather than national planners are more efficient at running a planned economy. Yeah, I'm going to agree. A centrally planned economy based around computers is a concept worth investing. Yeah, why not? Strongly agree. Bring back Project Cybersyn and whatever the Soviets' plan was that they decided not to follow through with. In underdeveloped societies, a centrally planned economy is the best way to make rapid progress. I'm going to say neutral. The principles of workplace democracy and self-management are desirable. Yes. The state can be best defined as a monopoly on violence and oppression. Yeah. A highly centralized but planned economy is not socialism, but rather state capitalism. I'm going to say disagree. Bureaucracy and inefficiency are always inherent in centrally planned economies. I'm going to say neutral and unsure. It is necessary to establish a dictatorship of the proletariat. Yes. The government should be capable of assigning individuals to workplaces. I'm going to sound real tanky here, but agree. A world socialist republic is a realistic and desirable goal. I guess I'll put agree. Nationalism and patriotism are impulses that are unacceptable in a socialist society. Strongly disagree. The global socialist movement should be led by a single party or organization. Strongly disagree. People are going to do it their own way. Asians are going to have more connection with Asians. It's like Latin American countries are going to have more connection with Latin American countries. They don't want some American type of, led force to be like, oh, we're going to help liberate, Venezuela. No, that's not going to work. Foreign officials have no right to dictate policy in another country. Yes, that's absolutely true. They should not. But the United States does it all the time. Open borders between like-minded socialist countries is desirable. Neutral. And any socialist country should be dictated to exporting their ideology abroad. I'm going to say agree. Okay. People of similar cultures should unite in federations or confederations. Yes. The international proletariat belongs to no country. Disagree. National liberation or self-determination for all peoples is a good concept. Yes. I would be willing to sacrifice my resources, my home country, in order to help other countries. Neutral. Socialist political parties should participate in liberal democratic elections. Well, you know what? I'm going to be opposed to what people like Vosh say. But you know what I'm going to say? You know what? Fine. I'll just say agree. Trade unions and workers' councils should form the basis of a socialist society. I'm going to say neutral. The leadership of political parties is in the progression towards socialism will always lead to authoritarianism. No. Democratic centralism is an authoritarian organizational structure that disregards the masses. Neutral and unsure. Only a mass workers' party can achieve any meaningful long-term goals. I strongly agree. Mass spontaneous actions are more effective than carefully planned actions. Neutral and unsure. The fact that so many workers vote for bourgeois parties over socialist parties is proof that party politics are no longer relevant. Yep, I would have to say, yeah. Socialist organizations are generally better off when organized loosely and decentrally. Neutral and unsure. Trade unionism has been largely corrupted by the ruling class and is no longer a viable structure. I'm going to say neutral and unsure. But I do agree to a point. Climate change is a major threat that all socialists must fiercely combat, of course. Measures to address environmental issues are unacceptable if they result in significant decreases. Neutral. It is foolish to expect renewable energy sources to be able to replace fossil fuels. I kind of agree. Industrialized farming practices must be abolished, even if it leads to lower outputs. I don't know. I LARP as Pol Pot, but that's, I'm going to say neutral. It will be important to implement extensive environmental protection, such as absolutely. Experimental, environmentally friendly food sources like cultured meat are Personal motor vehicles such as cars should be replaced with free public transport. I'm going to say disagree, because there still is going to be a need for HVAC and plumbers and everything else that can't just rely, you aren't going to be able to redo all the cities in the United States. Is it acceptable for humanity to suffer some notable extent in order to preserve the natural ecosystem? Should I be in, Prim? I'm going to say neutral. We must radically alter our food consumption in order to limit the exploitation of nature. I'll say yes. Human population growth must be curbed. Neutral. Some small-scale destruction of nature is acceptable if it notably benefits humanity. Disagree. Humanity must return to the primitive way. Man, they're really getting like, I know Ann Prim is just a joke in a lot of ways, but let's see. You're really going full on Linkola here, aren't you? I'm going to say disagree. We must accept that the socialist states of the 20th century failed to seriously, yes, strongly agree. Major issue that needs to be seriously addressed, neutral, unsure, traditional genders. Disagree. Marriage is a patriarchal social construct that should be phased out. Neutral, unsure. Abortion is a moral act. I'm going to say agree. Religions overall have a mostly positive effect in the world and should remain influential in society. Yes. Minority populations to receive special legal protections. Yes. A socialist government has no right to disrupt religious or cultural traditions in any situation. I'm going to say neutral. Sometimes you get the Salafists, or you get like the extreme Shias, and that's, yeah. Anyway, nothing against Islam. I know, you can get the snake handlers and the snake charmers too, and parts of specific Christianity. I can't remember. I want to say Baptist, but yeah. Anyway, prisons are oppressive and antiquated institutions that need to be abolished. Neutral, unsure. Policies that enable mass immigration are naive and should not be implemented. I'm going to say agree. You cannot achieve a socialist society without also making progress. Yeah, I agree to that. Let's see what I got. Revolution. Scientific. Yep. Centralized or decentralized. Yeah, I'm somewhat neutral. Yeah, neutral. Ecological. Neutral. Centrist Marxism. Yeah. Form of Marxism that adopts Marxist views on society and the economy, while also refraining from taking a definitive position on revolution reformism. Many centrist Marxists may also be more nationalistic than other Marxists. Yeah, may send the results by copying and pasting. Yeah. Next closest matches: eco-Marxism, orthodox Marxism. Yeah, left nationalism. Left com. Oh boy, hopefully I'm not a left com. Yeah. Marxist-Leninism, eco-Marxism, anarcho-communism, DemSop. Yeah. Yeah, that's about right. How long was that? How long did that take me? About 20 minutes. That was fairly quick. Anyway, y'all can judge me as you want to on my scores. I was trying to be as honest as I could. I'm sure there's some room for improvement there, but that's my take on it. So anyway, folks, I hope you all enjoy that last part of Renee's, and y'all have a good night. And don't try not to stay up too late. I'll try not to myself. So anyway, see you later, folks. Bye-bye.